Hello, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to all. My name is Drusilla Shay, and thank you for tuning in to DS News, where we bring you the latest and the greatest on all things fashion related. Now, as 2020 comes to a close, we're going to be taking a deeper dive into the 2020 fashion trends. There are quite a few, some that I understand, some not so much, but hey, I'm just a newscaster. We do have a special guest with us today that can shed more light on the 2020 trends. So I'll be handing it over to our fashion extraordinaire, fashion connoisseur, fashion analyst, and fashion expert, Drusilla Shay. Thank you so much for joining us today. I am so happy to be here. Thank you so much, Drusilla Shay, for having me, and thank you for that very warm welcome. We are going to be getting into the 2020 trends, 10, in fact, of the top trends this year. And the first thing that we're going to be jumping into are clear shoes. Now, clear shoes has been a trend not only this year, but also last year. The thing about clear shoes that makes it such a big trend is the fact that it can essentially go with anything. The only beef that I have with clear shoes is the perspiration. It snitches on you, okay? So when your feet are hot, clear shoes are not the way to go, okay? All you see is perspiration in this area. Not saying they're not cute, they're actually a really nice trend. However, for me personally, I'm still figuring out how I'm gonna rock it without showing the world that my feet are on fire. Now, next really big trend that we see this year are puffy sleeves. We're bringing it back to the Victorian days. Fashion has a way of constantly recycling itself. And here we're seeing this very feminine touch to fashion. It's bringing us something that we haven't seen in a while. Will it last for a long time though, is the question. It might be one of those trends that stick around for a few seasons, but then after that, kaput. Speaking of bringing things to the old, we're seeing a lot of square necklines these days. I am personally a really big fan of square necklines. They have a really classy look. They are also really feminine, and it's something that I think will stick around for some time just because it technically is a timeless style. It never not looks good. So the next category that we're going to be diving into are combat boots. Now, combat boots haven't necessarily gone out of style ever. They've always been in style, but this year in particular, the really chunky combat boot has really come back around. We're seeing it worn with dresses, with jeans, with pants, with pretty much anything. It's great because it shows the versatility of the shoe. Now, while we're on the topic of combat boots, let's also talk about the trend of combat boots with pockets. Yeah, let's get into it, okay? It's just an interesting place to put pockets. It's not for everyone, but it definitely has become popular. I believe Prada also has a pair of boots with pockets in them that have become very big. Sorry to interrupt, Drusilla, but I just have a question that I'm sure the viewers also have. Is there any functionality in having pockets in your boots? That's a great question. Thank you so much for even asking that. I'm sure a lot of people have this question because I had the same question. Now, technically, these pouches or these pockets may actually be functional, as in you can probably actually open the pockets and put things in them. The real question is, does anyone actually use these pockets? None at all. It were me, I probably wouldn't reach all the way down to the nether regions to put something in a pocket that's as low as my shoe. Well, okay then. Thank you. Please carry on. So next up, we're going to be talking about the square-toed shoes trend. Now, this is a wonderful trend, one that I hope sticks around for a long time. And why is that? It's because it not only looks good, but it also has a functional purpose. Now, if you've ever worn pointy-toed shoes, you know that it starts to really crunch those toes in the front, okay? The piglets start to become a little suffocated. The corns start to grow. The bunions start to flourish. And because of that, okay, our feet suffer. But when we have these square-toed heels and these square-toed boots, it's really giving our piglets room to just be free and room to be comfortable. So you get the fashion, but you also get the comfort. Drusilla Shay, this is some great insight that you're sharing with the people. And I just wanted to go ahead and remind viewers that this is a great time to go ahead and subscribe to this channel if you haven't already, and turn on your bell notifications so that anytime we post on Sundays, you will be up to date. All right, Drusilla Shay, I promise no more interruptions. Please do keep going. No problem, Drusilla Shay. That's a much needed reminder. Now, coming in next are boiler suits. Boiler suits are something that have a really uniform look to it, and it has this kind of janitorial style. And I love that sometimes fashion will turn a uniform into something super stylish. Now, if you're also trying to accomplish a street style look, throwing on a boiler suit is a great way to go. And the great thing about it as well is that it's usually a little bit looser. That is the style of it. So not only are you getting fashion, you're getting comfort. Coming in at number 8, the gold chain necklaces. It's super trendy right now, but it's always been fashionable and it's always been worn. I believe that in this age where jewelry is becoming a bigger thing, that's why we're starting to see this gold chain trend more and more. And speaking of chains, 2 chains, the next trend that we've seen so much this year are layered jewelry looks. Layered jewelry is probably one of my favorite things. I love to layer my jewelry because in general, I love delicate jewelry and it's so easy to layer them up. It's giving a stacked look. It's giving a diverse look. It's giving versatility. You don't only have to stack up and layer up your chains. You can do so with bracelets. You can do so with rings, and it looks really good. Just a little tidbit, if you're looking to really add that feminine touch to a look, layered jewelry is the way to go. Now, moving on to the next trend, something I've really been seeing a lot, especially in the summer, especially in the spring, are Empress headbands. Now, I am not 100% sure how long this trend is going to last because I feel like it comes and goes in waves because I've seen it in the Gossip Girl days. I'm seeing it again now. I always see it with children, but it's becoming a thing with adults. And I think that it's a great way to jazz up a hairstyle look. And I know that this is not a look for everyone. However, if you're looking to do something a little different in the upper region, you can try an Empress headband. And last but not least, in this age of pandemica, we of course have been summoned to wear masks. And the fashion industry, being the fashion industry, has some way somehow turned this around into a fashion trend. We're seeing all different types of masks, from chain masks to mesh masks. At this point, I don't know if half of them are actually effective. However, they do make a great fashion statement. We will continue to see mask fashion growing, and I've personally seen dresses that have built-in masks. It looks wonderful. And you know what? You might as well make it a fashion statement because it's going to be a part of our look for a while. So that concludes my trend report for 2020. I'm looking forward to see what 2021 will bring in the fashion industry. Thank you, Drusilla Shay, for inviting me to be your special guest this episode. And now, over to you. Thank you so much, Drusilla Shay, for joining us once again and for giving us that very, very thorough fashion report. I'm sure the viewers appreciate it. Now, for those who are watching and listening all around the world, I just want to say, on behalf of DS News, thank you so much. Thank you for your views, your subscriptions, and your engagement. You've been wonderful, and I appreciate each and every one of you. Now, this is just another light and gentle reminder to go ahead and press that red subscribe button if you haven't already, and turn on your bell notifications so that when we post on Sundays, you'll be up to date. And with that being said, we love you all. We appreciate you. God bless you. And we hope to see you in our next episode. Be blessed. Good day, everyone.